Question 14. A cup of raw milk, after being heated in a microwave oven to 50 degrees Celsius, contains half its initial concentration of a particular enzyme, lysozyme. If, however, the milk reaches that temperature through exposure to a conventional heat source of 50 degrees Celsius, it will contain nearly all of its initial concentration of the enzyme. Therefore, what destroys the enzyme is not heat, but microwaves which generate heat. So first step, argument of facts, clearing argument, structural indicator of therefore. The conclusion being that what destroys the enzyme is not heat, but microwaves which generate heat. And how do we know that? Well, we had a cup of raw milk that was heated in a microwave oven to 50 degrees Celsius, contained half of its initial concentration of a particular enzyme, lysozyme. However, when I used a conventional heat source of 50 degrees, we had nearly all the lysozyme present. So based on that, again, those are our premises, the author concludes that it's not heat but microwaves that are destroying this enzyme lysozyme. So if you notice, this is a cause and effect argument. And you notice, what is the observed effect that we are trying to explain here? It is the missing enzyme lysozyme. And what is this author's proposed cause for this observed effect? Well, it's not heat, but microwaves, which generate heat. So now that we have a clear understanding of this argument, it is a cause and effect argument, let's proceed to the question stem, which says, which of the following, if true, most seriously weakens the argument? So this is clearly a weaken question. So we're trying to weaken this argument that what is destroying this enzyme lysozyme is not heat, but microwaves. So let's take a look here at A. Heating raw milk in a microwave oven to a temperature of 100 degrees Celsius destroys nearly all of the lysozyme initially present in that milk. And you notice, if anything, A seems to strengthen this argument by showing when we get even hotter in a microwave, even more lysozyme disappears, but definitely does not weaken, so A is out. B, enzymes in raw milk that are destroyed through excessive heating can be replaced by adding enzymes that have been extracted from other sources, and B is completely irrelevant. What difference does it make to our argument if these enzymes that are being destroyed can later be replaced? That's not what this argument is about, so B does not follow. Moving to C. A liquid exposed to a conventional heat source of exactly 50 degrees Celsius will reach that temperature more slowly than it would if it were exposed to a conventional heat source hotter than 50 degrees Celsius. And obviously that's groundbreaking. If you're exposed to a lower temperature, you will reach that temperature more slowly than if you were exposed to a higher temperature. I mean, great, but again, this is not about being hotter than 50 degrees. It's about 50 degrees. C is completely irrelevant, so C is out. Moving to D, milk that has been heated in a microwave oven does not taste noticeably different from milk that has been briefly heated by exposure to a conventional heat source. Again, completely irrelevant. This is not about how the milk tastes, so D is out. Which brings us process of elimination to E. Heating any liquid by microwave creates small zones within it that are much hotter than the overall temperature than the liquid will ultimately reach. And you notice that E does weaken this argument that it's not the heat, but rather the microwaves, by showing that when you use a microwave, even though it's only 50 degrees Celsius, small zones are created that are much hotter than the overall temperature the liquid will reach. So while this milk ultimately reached 50 degrees Celsius, these small zones that were created within it due to the microwave are much hotter. So it proposes an alternate cause to our observed effect that it's not actually the microwaves, but it is the heat, particularly the heat from these small zones. So E again weakens the argument by pointing out a possible alternate cause to the observed effect of the missing enzyme lysozyme.